Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings, Leeds United 2, Everton 2. Let me know your thoughts for man of the match in the comments. I'll read some of them out during the show. Can't do all of them because they will simply move too fast, but I will try and get a general idea of, what your thoughts are from the comments. Any comments really, but I will keep them nice. Let's get into it. Jordan Pickford. I've given Jordan Pickford a 6 because I didn't really think he had much to do today. I really didn't. And 6 is now, I probably change this every season. 6 is like my average score now. It's like 1 above 5, 1 below 7, 6. He didn't have anything to do. I don't think he could have done anything with either goals. His kicking was fine. And apart, I don't think he really had too much to do, so I've given him a 6. It'd been an all-action game. I think there was one way in the second half where the lad threw a crossing, and it looked like he might have just sneaked in, and he got over there and made sure it didn't. He wasn't embarrassed by it. But he didn't really have anything to do, and that's been the story of both games actually. He's been beaten by goals and that he couldn't really have done anything about it. So I've given him a 6. Seamus Coleman, I've given him a 6 as well because I thought defensively, I thought he did all right today. I think asking a fella to against those kind of Leeds games to those kind of Leeds players to keep up with that for a whole 90 minutes. That's I think that's all we can ask for, to be honest. I think that's all we can ask for. So I think he played well. I don't think he offered too much going forward, which is, again, why we talk about getting a new right back in, someone who's busy, someone who keeps on going up and down the line, someone, who's got the energy. I think you're seeing that today, that he did his job defensively, but couldn't maybe offer too much more. He did try and get forward, no doubt about it. He swung a left foot at one late on in the second half, which wasn't the best idea. I think he could have played it out to Dean, who probably could have put a cross in it. But I thought he was fine. But as I say, can he keep that up all season? And really, that's where we need another right back. I mean, I've been saying it for too long, really. It's ridiculous. But we have to. On the other side, Luca Dean, I've given Luca Dean I'll give him a 5 actually, because I didn't actually think he had a good game. I thought they rattled him a couple of times, to be honest. I thought defensively, he got caught out a few times. He never looked comfortable. He never really looked comfortable at all to me today. He didn't offer massively going forward either. And I'll be brutally honest, I just didn't think he had that much of a good game. Others might see it differently, but I just didn't think he had a good game at all. I think you always know with Dean when he's not having a good game, because he starts and has a little moan at the ref, and there was one late on in the second half where he went down on the ball and tried to claim he'd won a foul, but he hadn't. And maybe he had because his boot had come off, but I didn't think he played that well. But so I've given him a 5. Yerry Mina, it was like the full spectrum of Yerry Mina today, and that's not making a mistake because he doesn't make too many mistakes. But just his antics, the one in the first half where he went down holding his face when Bamford grazed against him, and then the one where he got booked for is absolutely comical. It is so comical. Basically, he has the ball, he's defending it out, he's trying to, but it's not going out, so then he decides to fall on top of it. He's trying to get a foul all the time, he doesn't get the foul, and then he does brilliantly actually to get it away, and then he gets tangled up with Bamford, and it's just handbags and pathetic, and he gets booked for it, which is the thing that annoys me. A cheap booking. You're a centre back. You're gonna get yourself into trouble at some point. And then the second half, though, some of the defending, his header in the last minute from Bamford is just brilliant. To me, I've said it loads of times. He's a ball magnet. He reads the game and he knows where to be. He knows where to be. It doesn't always look brilliant. It doesn't always look pretty, but he knows where to be. He's such a good defender. Forget about anything else. He's a good defender. And he does a lot of things right. He does some things which are annoying. He's a bit like, he is a classic South American player. But I really like Yerry Mina. I've got a lot of time for Yerry Mina. So I've given him a 7.5 because I thought he defended really well. There's nothing he could have done. I don't think about either goal himself personally. The first goal, he's with Bamford. And Bamford just slips it into the space where Michael Keane should be. So I'm also on Michael Keane now. So I'll give Yerry Mina. I've given 7.5. He's our best centre back. No matter what anyone thinks, he's our best centre back. Michael Keane. Yeah. Michael Keane can go through games of football and can be doing fine. You don't notice him. He's just doing his job. And then he just makes that one mistake. And he did it last week. And he did it today. And today's one was just... I need to watch it again from a few different angles. But he just gets himself in the wrong position. It just gets it like his feet all wrong. And... yeah. Makes the mistake. There's a big hole. Because he can't turn round, and before you know it, they're in and they're down on goal, and yeah. So I'll give him a 4 for that. It's just I've never truly rated Michael Keane. Never truly rated him. I just think that. He's always got a mistake in him. And it's so annoying. How many times he makes that mistake? Because inside, there's clearly a good player. There's clearly a good player in there. When he's on his confidence, when he's on a run, like we seen last year, there's a good player in there. He looks as good as anyone at centre-back. But all it takes is that one mistake. And bang, he's on the floor. And I've said loads of times, I do feel like it's down to the player he plays alongside most of the time. I think when him and Yerry Mina were playing together, I thought I think he gets a lot of confidence out of that. But the mistake last week, and then that must play on his mind. He's definitely a confidence player. By now, he's like, he's 27, 28, been at Everton for 4 years. He should be Everton's captain by now. He should be easily the captain. He should have had a trajectory like Harry Maguire. And I honestly don't feel like it's a talent thing. I think it's like just a confidence thing. No. And that's why he'll never be, though. That's why he'll never be the player that you want him to be, because of the confidence. So it's sad. It's sad. He's a decent squad player, but he shouldn't be starting for games for us, especially when Godfrey comes back. It's disappointing, but it's 2 mistakes in 2 games, and the manager's obviously got to take. Hopefully, has got Godfrey back. Hopefully, has Godfrey back for Tuesday, and then he's ready for Saturday. Hopefully, but you can't. As some Everton said in the comments, you just can't make those mistakes at this level, which is annoying. Alan. I thought Alan started the game quiet, but then I think again once he got a grip of it, I thought he was excellent. I thought he was excellent. Second half, thought he just started tidying up. I'll be honest with you, I think the change in the rules, the change of the law, has really helped Alan. There was one in the first half, it wasn't Alan, it was their right back with Luca Dean. And Luca Dean come across him, and the ball went out, and Erling jumped up in the air like he'd been cut in half, but he hadn't been touched. I think it was a great indication of what the rules are now in terms of fouls. The ball's gone. Yes, there's been contact, but he hasn't fouled you. And I think Alan, I've noticed, may be benefiting for that because he does go in at 100 miles an hour. He does go in there and try and nick the ball. I think last year, every time he did it, it was a foul. But I've noticed, certainly today, there was a couple of times where he went steaming in and he won the ball. And the ref just said, play on. And it's that little rule change I think could benefit him more than anybody in our side. Because he is a little terrier. He does go running about. And I thought he was great today. I really did. I thought him and Decore as a pair again, like last week, really got a grip of our midfield. And it's when you've got attacking players on the pitch and you need that midfield, because the game's going to be won or lost. I mean, it was a draw, but in midfield today, when you looked at the starting lineup of just having two centre midfielders, and I mean, I know that it's an old-fashioned thing anyway, isn't it? It's an old-fashioned thing that we've gone away from. A lot of teams play with three centre midfielders now, but we've got two centre midfielders, and sometimes you're outnumbered in there. But I think the work rate from both of them, the Alan's reading of the game and the Corey's ability to get around the pitch, as really, we benefit from them. I think in both games. So I was really impressed with Alan, especially in the second half. So I've given him an 8 because I thought he was excellent. And there was the one where he got away on the left hand side, just couldn't see a pass, couldn't get his head up and see a pass, but. It was a great little run. I thought he was great. I thought the Corey was great as well. Give the Corey 7.5. I thought just getting forward, being that extra man. I thought he was great again. Those the pair of them, I'd say sometimes they make the wrong pass, and because they're both charging forward, it can mean we put us on the back foot. I noticed that a couple of times, but that's just me being looking for a negative, but. I like the look of them two as a partnership this season. I like the look of them last season. They were good last season, but I just like the look of them so far. It looks like it's got a good balance to it. You've got the core he can get around the pitch and who's wanting to get forward. He's wanting to join in. We've seen that for I think Gray's goal. He wants to join in. So I thought he was sound. Iwobi, I thought Iwobi had a couple of good little moments today. I thought he kept his shape well. I thought if Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores to make it 3-1, we're all talking about the Corey's cut inside and his pass. Unfortunately, we're not. But it was a lovely slid ball. Dom got onto it. Dom just couldn't finish it. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I thought it was a nice little cameo. Kept the shape well, and off the back of what he did last week coming off the bench, I thought it was good. And if the manager trusts him and the manager is telling him what to do and where to be and how to play and use his ability, then of course there's still a player in there. We've had him now for 2 years and he's done very, very little for us. The odd little moments. You need consistency. There was last January, I think he put like 4 or 5 games together, and he scored the goal at Wolves, and then I think he got an injury, and that he never came back the same. I think it's about consistency, and it's whether the manager is prepared to give him that run of games. It might be a case of Townsend plays some games or Wobie plays in other games. I don't know. The manager's going to have to decide, through training and what fits the best for a particular game. It was interesting to me today that he started and Townsend didn't, and then Townsend started last week, because I would see Wobie more as a home player. I don't know why. I just do, even though he hasn't done it home or away. But if you're trying to be solid, I would have thought that. Yeah, I would have thought Iwobi would be more of home, but I thought he did okay as well. Okay today. I've given 6.5. Thought he was fine. Just had that one more. He just has to do it more. Just has to do it more. Simple as that. There's not enough of it though. There's not enough of those moments from him. That's the only thing with Iwobi. Gray, again. See, this is the difference, I think, between Gray and Iwobi. Gray wasn't too much, didn't do too much more, but maybe what he did was, he put the ball in the back of the net for a start, didn't he? Took his goal really, really well. Had a great little run in the first half and whipped the ball across to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who just couldn't get there. Stretching a run, slide, just couldn't get there. But Gray, for $1.5 million, everyone's going to be saying this. He's looking like good business because the manager's, he's starting games. He's got pace. He's got ability. He put the ball in the back of the net today. For $1.5 million, if you do that regularly, then there isn't going to be any problems at all. There ain't going to be any problems. So I thought he was very busy today and give them something to think about. Again, it's about consistency. He's never been able to find that consistency at any club he's ever been to. I think since he left Birmingham, he never really found it at Leicester. I don't think he found it in Germany. And it's about him getting that. But again, it's games. It's about a manager believing it. It's about a manager. See, this is the thing. This is what's quite funny is we've had all this money and we've had all these players and it hasn't worked. Whereas when we had David Moyes, the reason it worked a lot of the time was we didn't have the money to buy players. So when we did buy a player, Moyes had to have a real good think about it. And he wouldn't buy... People used to call him Divin and Dave, but they had to be real Everton players for him to buy them. And then when he did buy them, they stayed in the team. So Fellaini, the first half dozen games, Fellaini was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And then suddenly, he put him up front against Bolton. He scores a goal. And then it clicked. And then he was brilliant most of the time. Tim Cahill playing week in, week out. Arteta, Pina. Now, if they were in squads that were bigger and there was more choice, then those players maybe never settled at Everton. And maybe that's been the problem in the last few years. Players have never been given time. And maybe Gray will benefit from the fact that we don't have money and we don't have lots of players to pick from. And then he does end up playing 35 games this season, hopefully, or whatever. And the same with Townsend and the same with Iwobi. Those three players. Players will have off games. But if they drop the week after, then how are you ever going to find that consistency in their game? So I've been impressed with Gray so far. I thought you took his goal really well today. I was shocked it went in because I'm not used to seeing our defenders, our wingers, scoring goals like that. Why are people suggesting Hector Bellerin? Will you please stop it? He's absolutely garbage. So I was made up for him to score today, and I've been impressed. Richarlison worked his socks off today. He really did from the first minute. He was at it, really, really at it from the first minute. And I think he was knackered by the end. I think Rafa Benitez maybe should have took him off instead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but Richarlison will drop in and make an extra midfielder. But I thought he worked ever so hard today for the team. Maybe not with maybe not with the final product. Had one in the second half. I think it was just after it went to 2-2 where he just whipped one wide, curled it wide. But he was winning as little things like fouls and corners, and they couldn't live with him at times. He was brilliant for me in terms of his work rate today. Hopefully he gets a rest on Tuesday, but knowing him, he'll want to play. But I just love Richarlison's work rate, and you can see how much the energy he takes from the crowd. You really can see the energy he takes from the crowd. People criticised him last year for being stroppy at times and different things. But I think he's played all summer. He came back and he's so hungry to play football. All he wants to do is play football. That's why Everton's the perfect club for him. No, he's not too selfish. He's not too selfish. I completely disagree. He's not too selfish. At the end, he was getting tired and he was losing the ball. And that's up to the manager to take him off the pitch. But he picks the ball and he runs at people. And he's on the, someone said he's on the half turn. He keeps people off balance. And yet, towards the end, he was losing the ball. He was running into players. That's up to the manager then to take him off. Because that comes from tiredness. That's when you get tired, you start making errors because you think your body can do one thing and it can't. That's up to the manager to take him off. But because Richarlison is always capable of doing something, popping up with a goal or doing something or whatever, I don't think the manager wants to take him off. I agree towards the end of the game, he was starting to take the wrong choice. But that's what I'm saying. I think he should have been taken off. And for Moise Kean maybe, or even Gabaman, say. And have, Gabaman pushing on from midfield, or letting Decore push on. But that's up to the manager. But I thought he ran himself into the ground today. I really did. I've given him a 7. I thought he was worked tirelessly for the team today. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, interesting one. Won the penalty. Definitely a penalty, no matter what anyone says. Definitely a penalty. Finished it brilliantly. That's what I want. I've been talking about Dom's penalty. England would have won the Euros if they'd put Dom on a penalty, and it's Jordan Henderson's fault that England didn't win the Euros because he took the penalty off him in the pre-season game before the Euros. So it's Jordan Henderson's fault. You heard it here first. I'm saying it. Jordan Henderson cost England the Euros. Simple as that. You can take that and you can tell everybody that Jordan Henderson cost England the Euros because he stole the penalty, which he missed for England. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin would have scored that goal, that penalty, everyone would have gone, Dom's a boss penalty taker on. He would have been brought on towards the end of the game. And England would have won the Euros. He would have stepped up instead of Marcus Rashford or instead of Saka, and he would have scored. He would have been the third penalty. He would have... It's science. This is science. This is absolute science. There's a little bit of logistics in there as well, but this is real science I'm doing right now. Dropping the facts that Rafa would love. Fact bombs all over the place. Dom would have would have scored the third penalty. Rashford would have been more relaxed then. So would Saka. England have won the Euros. It's science. It's facts. It's logistics. Jordan Henderson, a.k.a. Liverpool, lost England the Euros. Just going to say it. Right? The keeper wouldn't have saved it. Dom would have smashed it in. They wouldn't have known. They would not have known about Dominic Calvert-Lewin because of Jordan. But Jordan Henderson ruined that. So, great penalty. Listen, I thought he was okay. I thought he was okay during the game in terms of the build-up play. I still don't think he's fit. Listen, I'm an Italian fan, so it doesn't really matter. I'm an Italian fan. I'm perfectly happy that Italy won the Euros because I'm an Italian fan. I'm an Italy fan, so it doesn't really bother me. But the England would have won it. Would have been science, absolute science. But I can only give Dom a 6 today because he missed chances. He missed. There was one where it got put across him, and he hits the target, and the keeper makes a save. I thought it might just sneaked under his legs, but the second one, he's got to. Dom is not above criticism. He's not above criticism, but he's got to be scoring that second one. He really has to. He's got to be colder in the box. That keeper's coming out. Iwobi set him up brilliantly there. The keeper's coming out. He's got to dink the keeper. He's got, put it this way, right? If the keeper had saved it because he dinked it, then at least I'd say he dinked it. But he didn't. He just side foots it into the goalkeeper. He's got to get that. He's got to learn how to do that. The thing is, people like Harry Kane, they're scoring that. But even there's, strikers who play at lower divisions who are scoring that because they know how to take that goal, and he's got to get that, because at the moment Dom is a 15 maybe to 20 goal scorer a season in the Premier League. If he wants to be a 20 to 30 goal scorer, they're the chances he's got to score. He has to. So he's not beyond criticism. Love to laugh to bits. I mean, I love him to bits. Love his celebration. Love that he wants the penalty. His goal last week is what I see as being real Everton. Diving header. Got a C10. That to me is real Everton, number 9. But he's got to score those goals. He has to. Because he made it really easy for the goalkeeper. He just hit it straight at the goalkeeper. That would have made it 3-1. He had a chance very similar last season at Leeds that he missed, but we held on. So you've got to know that if you're in that position, the keeper's going to rush out. He's going to try and block the shot. The best strikers in the world, they just go pink and dink that over. And as someone's pointed out, he did against West Ham last year in the cup. Brilliant little finish. So is it composure in front of goal? I don't know. But if he wants to be that goal scorer who's talked about as being like, the goal scorer that is going to get the goals every week, that other clubs are talking about, or the England manager's talking about for pushing Harry Kane, then why are you telling me my sound is low now? I don't know, weird. I'll turn it up a little bit, but no one else has said any problems with it. So that's me starting team. Townsend came on, fine, did nothing wrong. Give him a 6. Delph I thought was alright. Came on, I'll give him 6.5. Delph came on. He helped get the shape back into the team, and I think maybe he should have been on a little bit sooner. He got the shape in the midfield. We got control of the game again, and late on, it should have been us who'd won the game, because when it went 2-2, sorry, a 2-1 to us, we should have won it. And then when it went 2-2, I just thought they're going to win it now. Because you just had that feeling that they were going to win it. Because they're at home and it's Everton. Because that's the way I... Oh, Ned! Why don't you just message me and tell me that these things... Ned, tell me every show the sound is fine. Just tell me before every show the sound is fine. Come on, Ned. But then we controlled the game for the last 5 or 6 minutes. There was 4 minutes added on time, and I never really felt like we were in any danger till that last cross into the box. Really, that was it. And Mina dealt with it, and there was a little bit of a scramble, and I think then there was a penalty check which sent me west, but Delph helped get control of that, so he was fine when he came on. So apart from that, people are asking me in the comments about Rafa Benitez. He has been fine so far. I have had absolutely no problem with Rafa Benitez becoming the manager of Everton Football Club. I've had no problem with that at all. I've never had any problem with him being the manager. I said before Ancelotti came in, that I wanted him to be the manager, and I've got no problem with him, and I think he's done fine so far. So I think, last week he changed things at half-time to set us up to win the game, and I think today, as I said, is it a criticism? I don't know, but maybe I would like to have seen the sub 5 minutes earlier. So there you go. But I've got no problem with them, and I said at the time when before before Carlo Ancelotti came in, I said I wanted him to be our manager. So I had no problem with him being our manager, and I have no problem with him being our manager now. I know it annoys people, but we've had that many managers that I'm not asked. I'm just not asked by the situation. You know, dead simple. It is what it is. We just get on with it. If we win games and we look like we've got a decent team, then I'm all right. I'm fine. Yeah, there you go. But that's it. They're my player ratings. Jordan Pickford 6, Seamus Coleman 6, Luca Dean 5, Yerry Mina 7.5, Michael Keane 4, Allen 8, Decore 7.5, Iwobi 6.5, Gray 7.5, Richie 7, Dominic Calvert-Lewin 6, Townsend 6, Delph 6.5. Moise Keane wasn't really on the pitch long enough to make an effect, although he could have scored. There was that one at the end where it was a shot and I think Cooper put it wide. Imagine if he got his toe on that. Oh, would have been amazing. Yeah, there you go. But it's a point. It was a tough game. We got a point out of it. On to Huddersfield on Tuesday night, then on to Brighton next week, which will be a tough game. That'll be a tough game. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget, if you want more great videos, check us out on Patreon. We do daily live videos. Make sure you check out all the new merch as well. You can see that little box there with all the little merch in it at the bottom. Check that out now. It's toffeetvefc.com/shop. I've got the new Legends t-shirt on. There you go. Boom. And the material's really nice as well. The material is really, really nice. Feels really nice on my skin. Nice. Mugs as well. Some nice mugs. This isn't one. This is a Fantastic Four mug from Islands of Adventure. But it's a good mug. But it's not the mugs we're selling. There you go. So give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And check out all the other videos today, including videos from Baz sitting in a car in Wales, which is... It's controversial, to say at the least, but he's on holiday and he's doing his job. What do you want? What do you want me to lift up more, the t-shirt or the mug? Or are you just trying to see my nipples? I can't make a Marco Materazzi shirt. I'd love to. I love Marco Materazzi. I met him once in a shop when he was buying a bed, and I got an autograph off him when I was quite young. But I can't really make an Everton Marco Materazzi t-shirt. I'm sure Inter Milan do them. Or Italy do them. Get an Italy shirt with Marco Materazzi on the back. That'd be boss. Yeah. If you join Patreon as well, you get discount in the shop as well. But we've got new t-shirts and new mugs. And we're going to have new hoodies. You want the mug? There's the mug there. It's Fantastic Four. It's from the Islands of Adventure. I bought this in 2006. I bought this mug. It's like the cartoon. It's from the ride, I think. Or is there a Fantastic Four ride? Can't remember. Islands of Adventure. What a place. What a place. I haven't been there since 2007. I just wanna go back. Baz will be on live in a minute. As soon as I finish, then Baz is gonna go live with his 3 things from today. A Kevin Sheedy shirt. That's a good idea, actually. Like an Irish shirt. He is live from his car, honestly. Definitely. An Irish shirt. Irish Everton Legends. That's actually a good idea, that. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, Islands of Adventure, 2006. I got married in Florida, and I bought this mug. So this mug will always remind me of getting married. There you go. That's why I've still got it. Baz is sitting in his Porsche, by the way, for his live. So, yeah. In his Porsche 911 in Wales. That's what he drives. Nice car. Right, I'm going. I've chatted far too long. I'm going to go. Yeah, make sure to check out Baz's live video in a minute. And make sure to check out my my instant match reaction and Baz's match reaction. And I will catch you on Monday for live 5 if you're on Patreon. Also, the final word, which will be live as well. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.